between the judiciary and the executive over appointments. With Anisha Mathur in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us live here on 5 Live on India Today. I'm Akshita and Nandagopal, getting you the top story that we're tracking all the inside details of the BJP National Executive Meet. JP Nadda has been confirmed as the BJP president till June 2024. He's been given an extension, which means essentially he's been given the thumbs up from the party. We're going to be talking about what the BJP strategy is. What are the takeaways from this top-level meet over the next half hour? Here are the headlines first. BJP's big announcement in key election year. JP Nadda's term as BJP president extended till June 2024. Amit Shah endorses Nadda, says party's strike rate under the leader has been stellar. United Nations Security Council lists Pakistan-backed terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist after repeated efforts by China to block listing. Modi government hails UNSC decision. Pakistan Prime Minister's big statement on India. Shehbaz Sharif claims Pakistan has learnt its lesson after 3 wars against India.
Pakistan has learnt its lesson. We had 3 wars with India. 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Ahead of Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra in Jammu and Kashmir, big security advisory for Rahul. Rahul advised not to walk in certain areas, also told to use car in vulnerable parts. Day after street march, Kejriwal trains guns on Delhi. Lieutenant Governor in the Delhi Assembly calls him Viceroy and says LG must not behave like a headmaster. Let's begin with breaking news coming in this evening of a mid-air scare that was reported on an Indigo flight. And take this, the Congress now is saying that the co-passenger has claimed it was BJP MP Tejasvi Surya who unlocked the emergency exit door on board. The Congress is now going to town with this. They're asking, did the MP use his good offices to suppress the news? Why didn't this come out earlier? The Congress is saying Tejasvi's actions could have proved costly for co-passengers. So the Congress, they're asking Tejasvi Surya to come clean on exactly what happened here. Sagai Raj is joining us live from Bengaluru with more details on this. Sagai, what exactly happened? What is the co-passenger claim that's got the Congress saying that this was Tejasvi Surya who unlocked the emergency door and led to a delay for all the passengers on board?
The Congress has alleged that the passenger who tried to open the emergency door in one of the flights of Indigos is seemed to be BJP MP Tejasvi Surya, and he was heading from Chennai to Trivandrum. And immediately, the airline staff have immediately addressed the issue, and thereafter he was being shifted from that place to another place. One of the co-passengers has also identified that Tejasvi Surya was a passenger who have involved in these kind of malpractice inside the aircraft. And what we also get to learn from a few media reports as well as the allegations from Congress is that one more BJP leader, that is Tamil Nadu State President K. Annamalai, also nominated him. But it was Tejasvi Surya who has allegedly tried to open that particular emergency road.
Sagai, just stay with me. Just stay with me. Let's bring in Priyank Kharge of the Congress, who's joining us on this broadcast. Priyank, you had also tweeted on this issue, raising questions of Tejasvi Surya. Is the Congress jumping the gun here? Because this is based on one person's account. Tejasvi hasn't spoken on this. Indigo, DCA, nobody is right now confirmed that it was Tejasvi.
So, we have merely quoted what the news reporters come out, right? It's already in more than two, the news, the South First as well as the News Minute, where they have very categorically said that it was alleged that Mr. Surya was, and along with Mr. Annamalai, were at the emergency, sitting at the emergency seat. And they have also quoted an eyewitness for the entire scene. Now, my question is very clear. If Indigo also has released a press statement that a passenger has done this kind of mischief over there. So why aren't they naming the passenger? And if such a thing has happened where the passengers have written an apology letter and given it to the airline, why didn't the airline report such a serious lapse of security to the DGCA? And DGCA has now ordered an inquiry, right? So all these things point to what? That it's also very evident that Mr. Surya was on the flight. So
are you alleging that Tejasvi Surya has essentially used his power as a member of parliament of the BJP to kind of suppress this news?
Doesn't it look like that? What does it? If you look at how things have panned out, it looks like he's used his good officers. My only thing is, if he's clean, let him come out and tell. And it is just not some small thing. He's tried to open the emergency exit of an airplane. There are serious ramifications for this. And it's just not him. What about his co-passenger safety? A public representative needs to be aware of what is happening, right? So if he is clean, let him come out and make a statement that I was not on that flight. I have nothing to do with that. I did not write an apology letter. See, there is an eyewitness who has quoted this. And news reports are alleging that he playfully did so.
So let's see what Tejasvi Surya has to say about this. Thanks for the moment, Priyank, for joining us here on India Today. So the Congress questioning Tejasvi Surya and the Bharatiya Janata Party in turn right now over this particular issue. The Congress saying that there is a co-passenger who's leveled the allegation of Tejasvi Surya being the one who opened the emergency door of that plane and created inconvenience as well as problems for the safety of other passengers. We are going to try and reach out to Tejasvi Surya as well for his comment on this. Okay, joining us right now is BT Arsakumar, who is with the DMK. He was reportedly on the flight. Mr. Arsakumar speaks in Tamil, so I will translate for our non-Tamil viewers as well. But let me just finish this conversation first in Tamil. Arsakumar sir, neenga in the flight la irundinga. Yaar irundanga in the flight la? Tejasvi Surya Annamalai irundangala?
No, Mr. Annamalai irundharu. Mattavanga yaar irundanga enakku theriyadhu. Mr. Annamalai the same flight travel pannaru.
Okay.
Now 18th, my seat number is 18. I am also late to pick the flight. So I am sitting the few minutes here. Request all the passengers please to come down because sitting in buses. Some problem is created. Some problem is there in aircraft. After our engineers checking, after give the rights, after only fly the flight. Pilot is not agreeable because the flight is problem is there. So all the passengers go to inside sitting the buses, 4 buses. I am also one bus. I am sitting 10 members. I think my buses. He give the aircraft same Indigo flight person. Give the snacks. You take snacks. After the 45 minutes, 15 minutes in buses, sitting the buses. After that, some engineers is coming, CR police, everything comes around the flight. after I think 50-55 minutes, ready to flight take up ready. Please all the personnel come to inside the aircraft. Announce that airways people. Again we go to the flight.
Sir, the allegation is that along with Annamalai, Tejaswi Surya was there. You're saying you didn't see Tejaswi on board?
I don't know, but my emergency door is somebody's touch emergency door, open the door. I think lose the emergency door. That problems create. That's why we are all the passengers down against the flight.
But did you see who opened the emergency door, sir? Did you see when it happened?
No. Aeros only announced emergency door. Somebody's emergency door touch the emergency door. Emergency door. But not open. I don't showing. I think not open, but touch with the emergency door. I think.
Okay. So someone touched it. It didn't open fully, and that's when everyone was deplaned also. Sir, have you ever met Tejaswi Surya? You know how he looks, yes? And you're saying you didn't see him on board the flight.
Some two or three persons along with Annamalai come to the flight. Aircraft.
Okay, but you recognize Tejaswi Surya?
Annamalai only I know, but Surya I don't know.
Okay, so you're not sure if it was him?
Yes.
So Annamalai, along with all the others who were accompanying him, did get off the flight along with you, sir?
Same flight I am also going now.
So when you were deplaned, everyone was deboarded together?
3 persons along with Annamalai.
Okay, sir. So you're not sure if it was Tejaswi Surya right now. There is an allegation. And can you confirm for us, sir, when exactly this flight was?
No, I don't know, Mr. Surya.
Okay, no. Can you tell us, sir, when did you take this flight? Because we're hearing it happened a few weeks back in December.
I think 10th December.
Okay, 10th December is when this happened, and soon after that, now at least this information is coming out. Thanks very much, Mr. Arsakumar, for joining us. Mr. Arsakumar was on that flight, and what he's very, very importantly telling us here on India Today is that he did see someone he recognized, which was Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai, and along with Annamalai, there were several others. He says that he didn't know if Tejaswi Surya was there or not. He didn't personally see or can't vouch for whether Tejaswi was on board that flight. He also doesn't know if any of these leaders were actually involved in the incident of the emergency door being opened. He is saying that from what I hear of what happened in that flight, the door wasn't opened, it was merely touched, but that's why because of obviously safety measures, everyone was asked to deplane for the moment. So Sagai Raj is joining us with more details on this. Sagai, do we have any details of how many people on board have actually claimed it was Tejaswi Surya? Because now we have on record one person saying he didn't know if Tejaswi Surya was even on board that flight. He saw Annamalai, he saw 2 to 3 other people with Annamalai, but wasn't sure if it was Tejaswi Surya. Does the DGCA or Indigo have anyone on record? Have they themselves come out with statements on this?
The DGCA have come out with a statement saying that one of the passengers have tried to open the emergency doors, but they have not come up with the names. But the few passengers who doesn't want to reveal their identity have spoken to few media outlets and have clearly verified that it was Tejaswi Surya, and that is the reason Congress is alleging that it is Tejaswi Surya who was the passenger who tried to open the emergency door. Even Priyank Kharge, who spoke to us, has clarified that he has quoted 2 media outlets who have put out the information about Tejaswi Surya, and that is the reason they are alleging that the government has to come out clear on this and give a clarification on all these allegations and reports of media on social media.
Okay, so far no details and no one at this point who's recognized Tejaswi Surya per se. One co-passenger, however, has confirmed it was Tejaswi. And what we've in fact caught from the one person who we spoke to, a DMK spokesperson, he says Annamalai, who is a Tamil Nadu BJP chief, was there along with a few other BJP leaders, and he's not sure if one of them was actually Tejaswi Surya. Has there been any comment that's come in so far from Tejaswi on this entire allegation and what transpired on December 10th, Sagai?
Have not spoken about this particular incident.
Sagai, if you could repeat your answer, we lost you there.
We tried to reach Tejaswi Surya office on the same, but nobody have replied on the same. And what you also get to learn is that the Tejaswi Surya has not spoken about this particular incident openly to any media outlet.
Okay, so far Tejaswi Surya hasn't really commented about what's happened, but you can see that political parties are now latching on to this issue. The Congress has already tweeted on this, saying that this is Tejaswi Surya using his might to kind of suppress the news. There's no confirmation right now what happened. Can you tell us, Sagai, about what Indigo has said in their statement? Because they have confirmed that the passenger accidentally opened the emergency door.
Absolutely. According to the investigation which was being done by Indigo internally, has given a press release and stated that one of the passengers who was on that particular flight from Chennai to Trivandrum had tried to open that particular door. And they have also said that the passengers has apologized for that particular incident. And immediately, the staff who were present inside the aircraft had shifted him from that particular emergency seat to a different seat. And thereafter, the engineers and technical team have verified and checked all the exit and entry of that flight. And thereafter, it has taken off from Chennai. But it was delayed just because one of the passengers tried to open the emergency door. It was delayed close to 30 minutes for them to finish all kind of formalities, because whenever these kind of emergency doors get open, there are protocols which has been followed by Indigo aircraft, and that was being duly followed by the aircraft.
More reactions, Sagai, that are coming in. Like I said, this has taken a complete political turn right now. Asaduddin Owaisi has now tweeted, he's added a communal spin to this entire controversy. Owaisi is now hit out at Tejaswi Surya. Let me just read out for you his tweet. He said, and I quote, well, if you have a Sanskari name, it's accidental. If the name is Abdul, then sky is the limit. Please always keep your seatbelts on. This is the comment by Asaduddin Owaisi, again trying to claim that because it was Tejaswi Surya, the culprit has been shielded here, and has also questioned why Indigo has referred to it as an accidental case, saying if you have a Sanskari name, it's accidental. If the name is Abdul, then sky is the limit. Communal turn also now into this controversy, as Asaduddin Owaisi has weighed in with his own view of what's happened right now. And let me just confirm for you right now that we've tried to reach out to Tejaswi Surya's team. We're going to try and get him on record on exactly what happened. Was he involved? Was he on board this flight? What happened? Did he open the emergency exit door as is being claimed by a co-passenger? Indigo, in their statement, haven't named Tejaswi Surya. They haven't named any passenger for that matter. So it remains to be seen. Right now, it's a big question mark on whether Tejaswi did it or not. One passenger on board that plane has alleged that Tejaswi Surya opened the emergency exit, and that's what led to complications. That's what led to the flight being delayed. Everyone had to be deplaned as per the safety measures, the safety protocol that's in place in this case. But the Congress is saying right now that Tejaswi Surya has used his might as a BJP MP to suppress this news, because this incident actually happened on December 10th. Thanks very much, Sagai. We'll continue tracking this story and get you all the reactions. Over to the big political story today. In the BJP National Executive Meet, the party has confirmed that they've extended JP Nadda's tenure as the party chief. His tenure was to end this year, but he will remain as the BJP chief till June 2024. The announcement was made by Home Minister Amit Shah on day 2 of the National Executive Meet of the party that's being held as we speak in the national capital. Nadda's presidency was scheduled to conclude on 20th January this year, so in just 3 days from now. The decision is being seen as part of the BJP strategy for an election year when 9 states go to polls, and keeping in mind also the Lok Sabha election slated for next year. Shah has said that the party has had the highest strike rate under Nadda, who's led the BJP to win key state elections. Amit Shah also highlighted that it was Rajnath Singh who had proposed the extension of JP Nadda. So essentially Rajnath was the endorser.
कई बार भूतकाल में भी इस प्रकार के अलग अलग मौकों के कारण राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष के कार्यकाल को एक्सटेंशन दिया गया। इसी परंपरा का अनुसरण करते हुए श्री जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी को राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी ने आज सर्वानुमत प्रस्ताव किया है। श्री राजनाथ सिंह जी ने इस प्रस्ताव को रखा और सभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सदस्यों ने इसको हर्ष ध्वनि के साथ सर्वानुमत से स्वीकार किया है कि जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी को जून 2024 तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अध्यक्ष के रूप में इनके कार्यकाल को बढ़ोतरी की जाए।
अभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की राष्ट्रीय कार्य समिति ने सर्वानुमत से एक फैसला लिया है कि श्री जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी का कार्यकाल जून 2024 तक बढ़ाया जाएगा।
उनकी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्षता में ही हमने बिहार में सबसे ज्यादा स्ट्राइक रेट प्राप्त किया। महाराष्ट्र में भी एनडीए को गिन लें तो हम फिर से चुन कर आए। हरियाणा में भी हमारी सरकार बनी। इसके बाद उत्तर प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, मणिपुर, आसाम, गुजरात, इस सब जगह भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने एक बहुत बड़ी सफलता हासिल की है। हम तमिलनाडु और दक्षिण के राज्यों में भी, तेलंगाना में भी एक ताकत बनकर धीरे धीरे सैन उभर कर आ रहे हैं।
So those were highlights of the message from Home Minister Amit Shah, where he's also spoken about how they have a lot to achieve this year. 9 state elections as well as the 2024 general elections. And through it all, it's going to be JP Nadda who remains the BJP president. So important decision that's been taken. Home Minister Amit Shah also in that speech has highlighted all of the achievements of JP Nadda, particularly saying that he's had an excellent strike rate, talking about all the elections that he's won, about his Northeast policy as well. So JP Nadda will remain the BJP president till June 2024. And I want to run you through exactly what his achievements are like and his profile as well. How did he become the BJP president, and also all of his achievements since that point? Here's a look at JP Nadda's political profile. So the rise of JP Nadda has been marked by many highs. He was a member of the Himachal Legislative Assembly. This is from 1993 to 2003, and then again was re-elected in 2007 as well. Now, beyond that, in Himachal Pradesh itself, in the state government, he was given a very important role in the cabinet as the Health and Family Welfare Minister. This was back in 1998. So he's been actively involved in Himachal politics from the 1990s. Now, in 2008, he was made the cabinet minister for several other portfolios as well. The Forest Environment Ministry, Science and Technology, all of that was given to him. So he was instrumental and given key portfolios really in the Himachal Pradesh government. In 2012, he was made a member of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture. Now, from here, in fact, you can see that he was made a part of several other parliamentary standing committees, like in 2013, when he was part of the Standing Committee on Privileges as well. Now, he was elected to the Rajya Sabha in 2014, and then slowly from Himachal he started having a much bigger role as a national leader. 2014 he was made the Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare, and there too his work was gradually recognized by the BJP, and then in 2019 he was made the working president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Since then there's been no looking back, because in 2020 he was made the BJP national president, succeeding Amit Shah. And from 2020, his term was to end in 3 days from now, on January 20th. Instead, he will continue as the BJP national president till June 2024. I'm slipping into a short break here on 5 Live. Coming up on the other side, we're focusing on Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's big declaration when he's conceded that we cannot afford to have any more wars with India. Gaurav Sawant getting you all the details on that in just a bit.
You're watching an India Today special broadcast being brought to you from the stunning ski resort of Clusters, Davos.
The 53rd World Economic Forum is back at the snow-clad slopes of Davos. The smartest minds gather to debate the world's biggest challenges: energy crisis, industry headwinds, geopolitical risks, social vulnerabilities. India Today and Business Today are at ground zero to bring you all the action. Catch top corporate tycoons, politicians and intellectuals as they discuss cooperation in a fragmented world. Watch the Davos brainstorm only on India Today and Business Today TV.
Not Auto Expo, then what is next at Ola? Can we expect more scooters coming up? I know there's a car that's been planned for 26, which of course I'll come to you later on. But could you also give us a sense what are the year plans and the outlook for the EV industry?
So I think, as far as your question goes on Auto Expo, we have our own events, and I know, we host our biannual events where we launch our new products. So that's the platform we use to announce to the world on what we're doing. But this year, I think across multiple things. One is, of course, expanding our product portfolio is one of the focus areas. Second is going to be, as we had mentioned at the end of the year, a very strong focus into core technology and R&D and working on our own cells and cell technology, talent upgradation and across the world and sort of hiring great quality talent is the third objective. Making our supply chains more self-reliant is also one of the core objectives that we have, and that's also the objective that India should have for us to see. So I think we will, while there has been an inflection point in 2022, 2023 will be taking it further in terms of these four areas, and it's so that we can open the floodgates for EV adoption in the next few years. So I think a lot of work, of course, while it is exciting, a lot of work is pending, and that's what we're going to focus on this year.
Right, you broadly mentioned a plan. Could you give us the growth plans in some numbers or figures or some targets that you have probably set?
I think the only target that we have is that by 2025 we need to is our mission electric, which is 100% vehicles sold EVs, and we will have the dominant market share of that. But nothing specific in terms of numbers. I think the year has just ended, so yeah, let's just celebrate what's been there in December. No specific numbers, but a lot of products. Of course, 6 products by 2027 is something which we will be launching across multiple categories. That is something which we are clearly excited about and working on. So I think more focus is on products, R&D, talent, supply chain. I think numbers are as a result of it, and we have seen that in the last 4 months.
The Ukrainians seem to be pushing back against the Russian army, but we're also seeing the Russian army now being armed with Iranian drones, which seem to be having a devastating effect, and the level of war crime seems to be increasing. What's your sense of how the Russia-Ukraine war plays out through this year?
I mean, the smart money, I think, is on things continuing as they are in a rough stalemate. What is very clear to me is that the Ukrainians are not going to give up. They've gone all in on losing whatever they have to lose to win the war. They have so far rejected any notion of peace talks, in part because they feel like they're in a position of strength, they have momentum. So that's their side of things. On their end, they need Western supplies of weapons, more advanced weapons. Recently, they've just gotten a delivery of tanks from the UK. They've asked for more higher level artillery, stuff rockets that reach further into Russian territory. That's the kind of stuff they want moving forward. On Russia's end, who knows? I mean, we're essentially talking about the mindset of one person and what he wants out of this. At some point, you've got to wonder that he thinks that he's gotten something that he can declare as a victory, that he can make seem as a victory. We don't know what that is exactly. We've begun to hear rumblings that the Russians might want to talk at some point, but this only works if both sides want to talk. So we need the Russians to need it as much as the Ukrainians do. We're not there yet.
We're also seeing NATO countries offer arms to Ukraine, which was so far off the table. Increasingly, tanks being given, which earlier was seen as NATO being dragged more deep into the conflict, which NATO was trying to avoid. How high, according to you, is the probability of the conflict escalating this year?
It's fairly high. It's as high as it was even last year. I mean, there's still the imminent risk of Russians using a tactical nuclear device, of them feeling like their backs to the wall in a certain part of territory that they've occupied. We know that they have chemical and biological weapons that they may choose to use, as they have, by the way, in places like Syria. So in a sense, nothing is really off the table. Putin doesn't want us to think otherwise because he wants to use those things as a deterrent. So there's a high degree of possibility of things escalating. And that, by the way, is the reason why the West isn't more involved than it is. The reason why the US doesn't formally have boots on the ground is exactly that reason. They want to prevent a larger escalation. That is Putin's trump card, in a way. He needs this to be as isolated as it possibly can be.
are watching India Today.
Chaos, crisis and collapse. Payback time for Pakistan. Begging bowl as the terror blowback.
I feel very embarrassed कि मैं आपसे हर दफा आता हूँ कोई और